Good evening and welcome to the demo class. Now, for today's topic, we are going to deal with the ethics and integrity. That is the GS4 part, right? For the main. Okay. Now, I have in hand already deconstructed the syllabus in terms of what content it has based on, what are the ideologies based on, and number of times the question came from that topic. Right. Now, I will let you know that chapter 1 deals with 15 questions, thinker part deals with 24 questions, and this set of topics are belongs to the philosophy. And the base of the philosophy is the ideology that is logic based. Now, this bifurcation, this whole comprises of the public administration, which is a value based ideology. This public services governance, that is good governance, ethical governance, etc. These are the part of the public administration. So number of questions from this section was 24 from 2013 to 2022. Right? Now this unit bifurcation, that is attitude, aptitude, emotional intelligence, are the part of domain psychology whose ideology is based on free will. Now, after reading and understanding all the things, we have to syncretic them, we have to syncretize them, we have to mix so that the blend of case studies will be solved. Now, moving ahead, our today's topic will be thinkers. So, firstly, let me clear it for you so that we go for a learning of thinkers. Right? Since this topic is very important and it has very beautiful identity in itself, that it is very accurate to learn, very easy to understand, and more importantly, very easy to apply. Now, as far as thinkers are concerned, we have elements like agent based, action based, right? So, quick bifurcation of the topic of thinkers. Later, we have Indian system of thinkers and those who came in the previous year's push. So, this topic, this part of thinkers is going to enlighten us on what is the overall domain for the ethics thinker, what we have read. See, as far as thinkers is concerned, there are a whole lot of thinkers. We cannot go and run and chase every thinker. So, we confine ourselves to the limited of them so that they can be applied more, right? Because it is a paper of ethics, not psychology, not sociology, even not public. It is an admixture of various domains or disciplines. Now, see, this whole thing will be explained very easily. There is a action, there is a consequence, right? Definitely an action is done by a agent, right? And what is the action part? That is consequences, right? So consequences are these. So we can more elaborately understand that action as means or tools. Without action, there will be no consequence. So consequence will be ends. Now this agent ethics talks about core principles of virtue ethics that we will learn in detail in further classes. So virtue ethics deal with S, P, A. Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. The insights from these authors are prescribed in their book, like Republic of Plato, Eudaimonia from Aristotle, etc. Now, this action part, we have or end part, we have two: consequentialism and action based or means based deontology. Now you don't have to worry about these terms. I will reduce these terms mathematically to you. It is very interrelated. Now, consequentialism deals upon first hegemonism, utilitarian. Utilitarian we have two, that is individual utilitarian or social utilitarian. So the thinker belongs to this category, that is social utilitarian, is J.S. Mills. So this S and this S, let us remind us, it makes us easy to understand this. Social utilitarianism is propounded by John Stuart Mill. Now, individual utilitarianism is described by one prominent scientist, right, who is Bentham. We are going to detail in every of the aspects, but this is the broader we can say classification what we are going to have. In the Indian system, we have a lot more Buddhism, Orthodox religious philosophies, heterodox religious philosophies, so many stuff. Now, we will take today consequentialism as the core of our today's topic for demo. Now, very well, this is a very simple and mathematical deduction. So, stay tuned. We are just about to go through the essence of our today's class or for demo. See, ethics is nothing but to judge action or to judge consequence, what is right, what is wrong, what is right, what is wrong in the aspect of, this is the whole domain of ethics, right? So we will start with our unit golden line: action, consequences. Now, consequences can be short term, long term, good, bad, and they can be byproducts also, which are not desirable but they happen. Like in chemical reactions, some products are also evolved which are not needed, they are called byproduct. So there are certain actions which have a consequences that were not needed but they happen. Now, these consequences have hierarchy of consequences, means can be many, one action can give many consequences or end result, that is consequences 1, consequences 2, consequences 3, etc. We will going to learn it further. Now this will be the base for our elaboration of the topic, that is consequentialism. Now, action is definitely done by agent. Okay, who is agent? Agent is one who does an action. It could be individual, it could be society, it could be organization, it could be a nation. Okay, now, so this action we take it as part B. So, action by agent when it is agent relative, means dependent on agent, and one action is agent neutral, means that action is independent of the agent. Okay, now this agent relative or agent related dependent action reflects in two domains. One, see, these are the theory part. Further we are going to deal with the application part in a freer domain, and we will discuss questions in the light of this. First, if you have a conceptual clarity of the theories which we are dealing with, then it will be very easily applied in the context the question has been asked, framed, or your inquiry. Right? So, agent relation is individual action or group or social action. Right? Now, I will tell you, take one example. One small child is there. There are so many actions we should act according to him. Like tapping a child, it will give a milder consequence. Hitting a child, a bit moderate consequence. Hitting or slapping very hard a child, so it will cause him trauma maybe. So that is the very large consequence. So similarly, in the series of action, one action is universal, which has many and they have consequences corresponding to action, that is C1, C2, C3. So this is the action part and this is the consequence part. As I have taken the example of childhood. So now based on this, we will find here that there will be a lot of permutation and combinations and it will lead to 9 types of action and consequence sets. Right? Up till here it is clear. Now, we will apply this concept to the consequence part. So, what it happens? Let me take it through you. See, these are all interlinked. So, consequences, they can be expected consequence, there can be actual consequence. So there is a gap, there could be a gap. What I mean to say consequence? Consequence is nothing but a desired set of goals, desired set of results what we are intent to get, right? So there could be a difference between the actual consequence and expected consequence. So based on that, consequence again is bifurcated called act consequence and rule consequence, right? So now we will move further. What is act consequence, right? So what we have learned that in the previous learning we have various actions and permutation combination of C1, C2, C3. So we have 9 sets of action consequence combination. Now to judge it, it has 1, 2, 3 level, 1, 2, 3 level. So we have 9 situations. So to understand act consequences, there are certain drawbacks. What is act consequence? Randomly you have taken one action, that is A1 and C1. So A1, C1, or it is 1/9 of relation between action and consequence. So it means to get a act which is giving a consequence, it could be anyone. It could be one of the 9. So it is very tedious. Very tedious in the sense many permutations and combinations. Right? Difficult to interpret. So this is the act consequence. It deals on a short-term basis. Example, someone has taken the loan on the non-merit basis, thinking that okay, this time I will get a loan and survive my spendings. But what will happen? In the long run, if he is unable or intentionally he has not returned the money, so his CIBIL score will down, and next time when he is going to apply, he is or he will never be given the next loan. So this is the parochial consequence, immediate, right? Now the next one is rule consequence. So as the name suggests, there are, what we do here, here we fix the consequence, and according to that various actions are done or anticipated. We foresee the consequences as per the available actions, right? So means among the various sets A1, A2, A3, C1, C2, C3, we have fixed C2, and we have looking at the concept of which is a favorable one. So after realizing the gradients or hierarchy of action and consequences, we get one thing, that is suitable for our fixed consequence. The action we are doing is a fixed consequence. So this is rule consequence, right? Now, this rule consequence will further lead to deontology of Kant, who has a very nice proponent of. How? Let's see that. Rule consequence is very near to deontology. How? Deontology talks about means. Fixed are means, consequences can vary. So you are what you are doing in rule consequences. Rules are definitely fixed for a desired consequences. Means you are fixing the rule. Means you are fixing the means to get a desired consequence. So it is near to deontology, not exactly deontology. It means it gives 50% deontology. Right? Now, it is applied in government's policies. Why? Because it is used in the long term consequences, right? And later, this is what about the theory part. So I hope you are clear with the background of the consequentialism. Now briefly I will tell you about what exactly is a consequentialism and why are its different ramifications, different bifurcations and ramifications of consequentialism, right? That I told you, hedonism, here utilitarianism. So here chief good, that is summum bonum, is pleasure, and utilitarian again is that individual utility or social utility, right? So this is proposed by Bentham, or also called as quantitative utilitarianism. This is social part is derived by J.S. Mill, C.S.S. So it will be easy for you to remember. It is called qualitative utilitarianism, right? So this is the broad classification of the topic. I hope this will suffice to your knowledge and enter easily in the domain of ethics. Okay, so all the very best to students.